Consider for a moment, who do you trust? That person you can count on to drop everything and anything to put you first when you need them the most. Can you see them? Yeah. Well, think about this. Who trusts you? Who sees you as being trustworthy? That's our topic today on the Educators Among Us podcast.
Welcome to the Educators Among Us podcast, where we share motivational messages and inspiring stories for and about educators. Your host, Scott Barron, is author of the critically acclaimed book, Love 'Em and Lead 'Em, and provides powerful insights and wisdom for those who heed the call to teach, coach, lead, and serve at all levels of education.
This is Scott Barron, and I'm honored to be your host for the Educators Among Us podcast. This is a program that's designed for those who serve in all levels of education to provide perspective, some encouragement, some inspiration as you go through your day and your week. It's hard work, but boy, what a difference we get to make in people's lives and helping them learn and discover and overcome the challenges and uncover those incredible talents that they have and just have that incredible discovery, right? That's why we do what we do. And so thank you for being there for them and being there in the mix and sometimes dealing with all the challenges and the conflict, because that just comes with being around people. And, it's part of the joy. Some people are incredible in their ability to find joy in that anyway. They're not just doing it for the job, they're doing it for the joy. And so that's what we are trying to do through this program is to give you some of that. And hopefully it clicks with you and you're able to use this as a way to find that little extra, that boost of energy and that perspective that helps you as you navigate through your day. One of the things that we have the chance to do with our students and sometimes with others is we get to pull out the splinters. There's and that being trustworthy is a vital part of us improving and elevating our influence. Right? Walter Anderson once said, "We're never so vulnerable than when we trust someone." But paradoxically, if we cannot trust, neither can we find love or joy. Finding that trust, being trustworthy. It's an ongoing sort of dance, and we try to find ways of being sure that we are in relationship, right? And that trust is vital for those relationships, and it grows through different kinds of experiences. And I had one, for example, two of our granddaughters were playing outside in our house, and both of them somehow managed to get splinters in their feet, and neither were happy about it. They were very uncomfortable with this what we call this tender aggravation, but only one trusted enough, right? Trusted me enough to put her foot up in my lap as we began the search with the tweezers and finding the light and moving her foot around and trying to find where the splinter was. She could feel it. It was hard to see it. And of course, had to have my glasses on and almost went to try to find the magnifying glass, but then I found it. It took patience, but we finally were able to find it and then pull it out, extract it from her foot. Not a big one, but boy, was she relieved. She was so happy. And so in her exuberance and being able to now walk around and kind of pain-free, she turned to her younger sister and she said, "Okay, it's your turn." And her younger sister was very unpersuaded. She kind of just looked at both of us and said, "No, thank you." It was kind of a, "No way, I don't trust enough to be able to have somebody pull this out of my foot. I'd rather just kind of walk around in pain than to have go through what you just did." And learning to trust is one of life's most difficult tasks. That's a quote from Isaac Watts, right? Learning to trust is one of life's most difficult tasks. We get burned, right? We have situations where we trusted someone with a secret, or we trusted someone with certain situations, and then they failed us, right? Sometimes they violated our trust, or they weren't there when we needed them. And it's hard. It's hard to sometimes not get hard-hearted, and sometimes to let that go, but also to be trustworthy enough in the moment. You see, trust is crucial. It's crucial to everything. It's crucial to our economy, to our schools, to our faith, to our fulfillment, our personal fulfillment. It's actually the oxygen of our school ecosystem. It's what enables interpersonal connections and growth that are so vital to learning, right? Being trustworthy maximizes our influence as educators. It opens up all kinds of opportunities when people know that we can keep a confidence, when they know that we know our stuff, we have wisdom, that we can give advice that is not only useful, but it gets them where they need to go, right? That's our ability. When people perceive us as authentic and true to our word, that's the key. That's when we become truly trustworthy. It enables them to have faith in our judgment, right? It's the first thing, right? It enables them to have faith in our judgment, our wisdom, as well as in our logic in decision making. It's a vital part of building that trust with people, and as we try to grow as educators, our ability to be ready in that moment where we have studied, where we're prepared, mentally as well as spiritually, to answer with judgment and sound logic. And then, of course, to care, right? Because they know that we truly care about them, and we have their best interest at heart. That's being trustworthy, right? Whoever can be trusted with very little can also be trusted with much, says Luke 16:10. And whoever is dishonest with very little will be dishonest with much. It's a pattern, right? When we're trustworthy, people trust us with their stories. They trust us with that relationship. They trust us even with their hearts, their minds, and their souls, right? Building trust requires facing a harsh and even humbling realization. It's not about us. It's not about me, right? My vision, my classroom, my syllabus, my plans, right? That's all rooted in a me-centered mindset. Those that are trustworthy have a humility, right? They have that. They understand. They have a perspective. And when we prioritize being trustworthy, our perspective shifts towards those relationships. Right? It changes how we communicate, valuing people and finding ways to grow together. All ships rise. We're not trying to build our little area, but we're connected, and we're trying to make other people better as well. Right? That's the difference. That's being trustworthy. Right? It changes how we work, prioritizing the attitude and the habits that produce excellence. Right? We have our stuff together, and we know how to be ready. We're professionals. We're loyal. We're kind. We're prepared. It's all those things. It's those attitudes that they can count on. Right? That's being trustworthy. It changes how we prepare, being ready with time and tweezers to ease their pain. Hey, as you go through this week, right? As you go through the challenges that are coming, may your authenticity, your wisdom, and your care be the difference in their lives this week. May that be the difference, right? As they learn to trust you, even with their splinters. Hey, thank you for what you do. Thank you for the work that you do as a teacher, as an administrator, as a part of the staff, and providing all the support things that happen around the school, even on the board or volunteering, whatever you do. Thank you for being there. Thank you for stepping into the moment, because it is hard. It's hard to be able to have that attitude. And it's easy to lose perspective sometimes. We get tired. We have other things that are distracting us, even sometimes in our own personal lives that we're fighting through. But you're there and you're ready and you're ready in the moment. And so we thank you for taking the time and investing the energy to do that every day. And as you go through this week, a coaching question to consider, right? Did I do my best to be trustworthy today? Did I do my best to be trustworthy today? Love him and lead him, my friend. This is Scott.
Thank you for joining us for the Educators Among Us podcast and for your courageous commitment to this noble calling. We get you and the challenges of this work. To stay connected with this community, be sure to subscribe to our podcast and weekly encouragement at educatorsamongus.com.